Hey guys, it's Tony here. So today I want to talk to you guys about Bitcoin, specifically on the daily time frame. Now, in my previous video, I talked about proof that Bitcoin might be done dumping and it should be pumping up. And today, I'm going to be talking about how there is even more proof that Bitcoin is probably done dumping right now and it could be going up. In my previous video, I talked about how we have to break through the 0.32 level in order for us to go up, and I want to show you that there are indicators that is showing that we could be going up and breaking through this level. So I am bullish on Bitcoin. Why? Watch till the end. Let's get into the video. So look at this. My previous video I talked about how we were dumping down and we pretty much tapped this support at $52,000 through $53,000. And a commented on my previous video and showed me that if you turn on the log scale, we perfectly tapped it. We literally perfectly tapped the previous high, which is why this support is really big. Because in my previous video, I talked about how this support is huge. This support has so much different stuff that's proving that this support is in fact really important. But then I found a couple other things. First of all, we actually tapped it perfectly, not nearly. We tapped the previous high perfectly. And second of all, look at all these previous supports and resistance. I mean, we had one resistance gigantic there, and after that we dumped. But look right here. When we were going to 65,000 and back down, we tapped this level so many times. Let's just count. We tapped it once, twice, right over here, 3 times with this wick, came back up, then we broke it, but we couldn't even confirm rejection, so we came back above it. We had 4, 5, 6 taps of the support before we actually broke down and had this massive correction, and now we are going up again. So this support is very, very strong, which is why I think we are done dumping, and the only thing for us to do is break this resistance line, because if we grab our Fibonacci retracement level from the bottom all the way to the top of this new trend that we're making after the $65,000 dump, you guys can see that we have this gigantic resistance, the 0.236 level. And this level is the gigantic resistance I talked about in my previous video that we have to break. If we break this, then we will be going really high up. If we get rejected, we will be falling down farther, maybe to like 50,000, but we shouldn't stay there long. But right now, I want to show you something. If I go on the 4-hourly time frame and I zoom in, if you guys see an indicator right now what Bitcoin's doing, comment down below right now. But if you did guess it, congratulations. The indicator is the inverse head and shoulders. Now this inverse head and shoulders is really important because it breaks us out of this resistance level, and the target of this inverse head and shoulders is $65,200. Now this is really important because it's much higher than the previous resistance level, and 2, it's making a higher high, which means we could be going and having a bull market in the smaller time frame, and we could be starting to pump up. Now this will be really important for Bitcoin, and after we break this level, the next level for us to probably tap is, well, the target. And if we break the target, which is 66,000, about there, 65,600, then we will be going up and tapping the previous all-time high of $69,000. This all-time high that we're having, we're going to be seeing a tap after we break through this new resistance. But right now, what we're supposed to watch is for this inverse head and shoulders to actually play out and not be a miss. So what you should see in the next week is that Bitcoin comes up and tests this resistance line, and it breaks it. If it does not break it, instead it comes and gets rejection, or it just starts dumping in the next week, then we should be seeing a dump farther down. But generally, I am bullish. Let me show you another reason I am still bullish. Because if I draw a resistance line like that, and I draw a support line like this is a falling broadening wedge. Another indicator that is really, really bullish. Because when we keep bouncing around inside of this indicator, one day the bounces are going to be so big that we will have to choose to either break down or up. And this falling broadening wedge is 80% chance to go up. We practically all the time go up or fall down when we have it. Right over here we have the same exact thing, only ascending broadening wedge, which meant we fell down, and the same thing's happening right now, which is why I believe Bitcoin is bullish. But we could have the same exact thing that we happened here, a last big rise before we come down, or in this case, a last gigantic fall before we go up. So we technically do have a chance for us to fall down and hit the $50,000 level. And if we do, guys, it's fine, because I'm looking at the short term right now. In the long term, I am bullish on Bitcoin because, let me show you something real quick. Bitcoin, if we zoom out, and this is still the log chart, so don't be alarmed if Bitcoin looks completely different. If I grab a resistance and I drag it from here, like this, and I drag a support, like this, then you guys can see that if I zoom in, we tapped this level right over here when we dumped, and right now we are generally going up. Now we are going up much slower, and if I grab my trend angle, you guys can see that in this trend we were going up 66 degrees. In this trend we were going up also 66 degrees. So this trend is going up about 66 degrees. And if we stay by that same exact degrees, then we should reach the top of this resistance line, which we already have done a lot of times. And usually we sometimes break it when we're doing an all-time high or something like that. But if we reach this top, the top is about $168,000. But more importantly, if we keep rising at this 66 degree angle up, by time, like I said, remember my prediction of reaching $90,000 by January, by the end of January. If we keep going by this 66 degree level, then when we're going to reach $90,000, it would be January 31st. And of course, you're talking about, you might say, well, Anthony, that you're calculating this all the way from the bottom. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to be sneaky. Well, what if I bring this to the price right now? Let's just say Bitcoin just starts pumping right now, because it could not even come down. It could just start pumping up right now, which is going to be fine. Well, look at this. $90,000 area right here. My prediction, still, it's just a week earlier. We're going to come there about the 20th of January instead of the 30th of January. So this is why it doesn't really matter if Bitcoin now dumps down or goes up, because that's short term. In the long term, we are still going up, and if we travel by our previous 66 degree angle, then we could reach $90,000 by the end of January of 2022. So this is what Bitcoin is doing, and don't be alarmed if it's gonna keep dumping in the short term. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to click that post notification bell. I'll see you guys next video. Bye!